Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of First Look Final Word, podcast where we take you along to see a movie with us. I'm Pete.
And I'm Trevor. Thanks for listening, you stitched together monsters. Today we're talking about a talkie.
That's a talkie?
Yeah, we're talking about The Bride. A lonely Frankenstein travels to 1930 Chicago to ask groundbreaking scientist Dr. Euphronius to create a companion for him. Okay.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I figured at the beginning of each episode we should tell people that we're talking talkies.
I don't understand what that means.
Like, as opposed to a silent film,
Oh, okay.
we're talking about talkies.
Is that something that happens a lot? People discuss new silent movies that have come out?
Well, no, like people probably found this through like the movies category and Apple Podcasts, and they're like,
we should specify.
Well, yeah, are they talking like silent films or are they talking talkies? So just want to get ahead of that.
Full color talkies.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, talking Maggie Gyllenhaal's second feature.
I believe
movie.
so. Yeah.
I did not see her first one.
I also did not see her first one.
So don't really know what to expect. Love her as an actress, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure what to expect with this one either. It seems like from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it seems to be like hard to pin down what genre this one is.
Well, that makes me interested, actually.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, so I'm here for it. I mean, Frankenstein's always kind of been that way anyway. I feel like it's like, is it a horror? Is it tragedy? Is it a love story? Like, what's going on with Frankenstein?
Well, it feels like we're kind of in like a year of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So you had the Del Toro movie,
which I finally watched last night.
Oh yeah, and
so I'm fresh.
And we're gonna be talking about that, and then also Creature Commandos, which came out like a year ago, features the bride as one of the main characters
in that show. Yeah, so I know we'll get into that when we talk this later on, because I think that's my main. I mean, we can just get straight into it, I guess. That's kind of my main entry point into The Bride of Frankenstein. So I wasn't really big on the whole Frankenstein,
like Universal classic
the
monster
Universal
movies.
monsters would kind of pass me by, if I'm being honest. I feel like maybe I was the wrong generation for that. But
I don't know
even like the Hammer horror stuff, though, I never really got into.
I don't know if the Universal monsters could have passed you by because they came out 50 years before you were born.
I mean, like I never got to watch them. Right. I didn't mean like they came out and I missed it.
It's like they probably passed your grandparents by.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I have like a 4K of all the Universal classic monster ones. But Bride of Frankenstein, a lot of people argue is the best one.
Oh, really? I heard it was argued as it was the best sequel, but I didn't realize it was arguing the best one.
It was. It's the best sequel. Like there's no real good competition for it. Yeah, and I guess I should qualify it's like a 12-pack 4K because there's like 40 Universal monster movies.
Oh yeah, they cranked them out, right?
There's so many junk sequel ones, and then
what about the Abbott and Costello one?
Yeah, and like the Abbott and Costello ones
that's pretty good.
Are like there's like 5 or 6 of them. They're all canonically part of it.
One. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like you have actors play multiple different roles in the franchise, so. Right. It's really the MCU of its day.
I guess so, right?
I'm only saying that as half a joke because
I took it as serious. Yeah, it makes sense. It's like
it did have
the first shared universe that was put on film.
Continuity between all the movies and some stuff that wasn't so continuous.
Did they then like try and do a bunch of low quality series on a TV channel to dilute the brand and then give up on it?
If you will recall, the 1930s and 40s was before television, so maybe they would have tried.
All right. So I'm guessing that you're way more up on this than I am, being an owner of all these 4K versions.
Well, like I've seen The Bride of Frankenstein.
So you are more open.
And I've read.
You've read the book?
I've read Frankenstein. Yeah.
You know, a little tidbit I discovered that I didn't know, that she was only 18 when she wrote that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And like already married to Percy Shelley, I believe at the time.
Oh, well, there you go. Guess they got shit done early back in the day.
I don't think he was 18. To be fair.
No, yeah, that's fair.
No, like it's a great novel. Some some would say it's the first sci-fi novel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I guess it
you
guess
can
pretty
argue
much
that
is,
for
right?
sure. Yeah, yeah.
This is like a 1930s version. I think
Right.
I just read it in the synopsis. So, yeah, gonna be interesting.
So, is there any other Frankenstein versions that have been done that you've want to comment on? Because I feel like they've done a few movies over the years.
You setting me up to talk about Kenneth Branagh?
I wasn't, but yeah, I didn't even realize. But no,
You know what? I like that movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's it's got De Niro as the monster.
Oh, really?
And then
I didn't even know.
who is it? I think it's Helena Bonham Carter as
okay.
Shoot, what the heck's that character's
I
name?
don't know, Elizabeth. That's what she was called in the one last night.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, who becomes the Bride of Frankenstein?
Oh, does she?
in that movie? Yeah.
Okay, well there you go.
So all good.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
It's a pretty good movie, and for long listeners of the podcast, we have an ongoing beef with Kenneth Branagh.
Trevor does.
I will admit that I think that movie looks fantastic. It looks
I thought
really
you were going
good.
to say it was a good movie. I thought you were going to give Kenneth his
No,
his flowers.
I think it's a B. It's a B.
Oh, there you
maybe
go. That's pretty
maybe
good.
a B plus. You know,
Okay.
it's a very wet looking movie.
Okay. Right.
And that's
It's very wet.
a high compliment.
Apparently.
I can give.
Okay.
So Branagh doesn't ruin the movie from his overacting.
Okay. Sorry, some faint praise. That
was good. Robert De Niro is amazing.
Yeah. What's the makeup like? Did they do like the bolts and the flat top and stuff?
No, it's kind of like a real gritty stitched together sort of thing. Like I think a lot of the newer Frankensteins have owed a lot to that one visually.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's
It's more of an actual corpse sewn together.
Yeah, but no, now we got some big boys who've played
Big boys.
the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
Christian Bale and
Big boys.
Christian Bale. Well, tall boys, yes.
Is Christian Bale tall? I feel like he's not.
He's tall, yeah.
Is
I think he's like 6'3". Maybe that's not
No.
tall to Pete, but
Christian
that's
Bale's 6'3"?
pretty sure.
That can't be true. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, Jacob Elordi is like at least 6'5". He's pretty tall.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
I don't know how big Boris Karloff was, but he seems pretty big.
I guess you've got to be pretty big to pull it off.
I'm guessing Robert De Niro's under 6 feet by
Yeah,
quite a margin, right?
He's got to be.
Stars of that age, like they were tall if they were 5'10".
I just googled it and it gave me it in freaking meters.
So it said 1.83 meters. That's about 6 feet.
All right, fair enough.
I know that because it says he's only 6 feet tall.
He's 6 feet. Yeah.
Okay,
Six feet.
That's normal person tall.
Yeah, it's not. That's why he's not 6'3". That's like strange people.
Strange. How tall are you, Pete?
6'4".
Yeah, just dunking on 6'3" people.
Yeah, short ass.
Yeah, and Jessie Buckley starring in this one. We were just raving about her.
We got a double week of Jessie Buckley. We just talked about her in Hamnet.
But it is weird that the Del Toro Frankenstein and this movie are coming out in the same year. It's a bit Armageddon.
I know what you mean. It's like all of a sudden there's like multiple Frankensteins on the screen, and like you said, there's a Frankenstein. Well, I mean, Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein in Creature Commandos on TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of a resurgence of Frankenstein, I guess.
You know what? He's coming back.
I mean, they've been trying to get those Universal monsters to come back for many, many years. So maybe this is the start of it.
Well, they had the Dark Universe.
God, that was hilarious.
Did you see that movie?
Because the Mummy one, was it?
Yeah, I was going to ask if Dr. Frankenstein appears in that movie. I feel like he probably
who was cast as, because they were like, because they announced all the people in it, right? I had a ton of people in it.
Yeah, Russell Crowe was Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, he was Dr. Jekyll, right? I don't remember who Frankenstein was, or Dr. Frankenstein, I should say.
I'm sure they have.
They must have announced it. Yeah, I remember that big picture of them all. So they're like the new gods and monsters.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
this is the new MCU, right? Everyone just wants to do the shared universe.
I never did watch that movie though, but man, it must have been bad to tank a whole franchise before it even started.
I saw that awesome trailer without the sound mix added together.
Man, that feels like it was a long time ago.
It probably was. All right, so why don't we put a pin in The Bride?
Yeah. Well,
exclamation mark.
Let's get into some
exclamation point.
Oscar talk.
Yeah, so For new listeners and returning listeners alike, Pete and I do these ongoing projects. We talk about different movies. Maybe it's a theme. Maybe it's a director. Maybe it's a franchise.
There you go. We've done a few of them.
We're doing our second Oscar project.
Yes.
Last year we watched and covered every Best Picture nominee. We're doing the same this year, and this is our last episode.
Yeah, because
right?
it's next week, right? Oscars is next week.
Oscars are next week, yeah.
So excited for that. But yeah, the last one we've not talked about.
Last two.
Yes, you're right.
Frankenstein and Marty
We
Supreme.
not talked about. I forgot about Marty Supreme. I was like, it's all Frankenstein, but no, I guess it's not. So should we do Marty first then?
I feel like we should do Marty first, so that's more. It's a better segue
for sure.
All Frank talk after that.
Exactly. Right. So Marty Supreme. I don't think I've talked to you about this movie at all, so I don't even know if you like it. Or
I
not.
know that you had seen it.
Yeah, I think I saw it before you. Yeah. So did you like it, Trevor?
Well, I went into it kind of with low expectations,
right?
Because the Safdies have sort of split up.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like the Smashing Machine.
That's fair. No,
very much
it wasn't very good at all. That's why.
I think
go and listen to our episode on that if you want to hear our thoughts on Smashing Machine.
Yeah, we were pretty down on that one.
Yeah,
but
we both did not like that.
I want to hear people, picking apart a movie and why it doesn't work. I think that's a good example.
Exactly.
I think Marty Supreme is technically very well done.
Okay.
I think the score is incredible.
Oh, okay.
It's an incredible score. I think the movie's pretty meh.
Yeah.
I don't really care too much for it.
I pretty much agree with that, and I think I'm just a bit meh on the Safdies in general, to be honest. I don't think I've seen one of their movies that I've really been a huge fan of. Like, they're obviously very talented and they know how to shoot a good movie, but I don't know, just the flavor of stuff that they do, I'm just not a big fan of. Like, I never saw Uncut Gems, but I'm assuming that this one is a bit like that, because from what I heard from that is it's just like, it's kind of non-stop, and with a protagonist that you kind of don't like.
Yes. Well, and I think like it's very obviously the same director who made that movie, because it's just a guy who makes a series of bad decisions and driving it through. Now, like, again, I think the movie looked great.
Yeah, I thought it looked great too. The production values on it were really good, actually. I did like that.
I think Chalamet is great. Like,
he was great.
I pretty much always like him. I feel like.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is the big problem I had with the movie, is that I pretty much detested every character in it.
Yeah,
which I think is kind of the point. So it's not. I don't think it was a failure on the part of the filmmakers, because I think that's the point of the movie. But I just don't like that.
I think the Japanese ping pong champion.
Oh, you know what?
I think he was good.
With him, yeah.
His friend who was like a Holocaust survivor. I think he was a good guy.
That's fair.
But yeah, like
I meant like none of the actual characters.
The time we're spending 99% with.
Like, and I feel like I say this a lot, but I like to have somebody in a movie that I can get behind and kind of sort of agree with, at least, and sort of empathize with. And in this one, it's like every character that they were showing me, I was just like, I don't want to see this character. They are annoying, and I don't like them. Even if they're acting very well, I just don't. Can we move on to someone who I can care about, please?
That's less of a problem for me in this movie. Like, well, in general, that's not something I really get hung up on.
Yeah, I guess.
For me, the stuff I didn't like in this movie was that, like, it seemed to be just filling time.
Yeah,
sometimes
it kind of just meandered about. I didn't really know what the point of it was at the end, if I'm being honest. And maybe I just missed it because I'm dumb.
Yeah, like
I guess
I don't think you. I'm guessing you didn't miss it.
Well, I mean, I guess it was just trying to say, like, this is what can happen if, like, you like hubris and just like drive and just like singular vision of just like wanting to do one thing. But I was still just a bit like, are you trying to say that's like a bad thing, or he should have done that, or it was like a good, like, it was a good arc by the end, and he'd learned a life lesson and he'd moved on. And like, because I felt like, well, it was just a big waste of time.
To me, like the last scene and like the last shot, which I think are really great, are not really that lined up with the overall themes of the movie.
Yeah, that's what. I kind of tried to just like, well, wasn't this a great message? This message we did, and I was like, oh, did you do that message? Because I felt like I just saw a bunch of strung together scenes of random shit happening, and I didn't get that. So now I'm confused.
I guess to be fair to the movie, maybe it's trying to say like, you know, everyone grows up sometimes, and then they have to figure out like what's important to them. Yeah. And for him, like,
which is a good message to have in your movie. I just like I said, I just feel like I didn't really feel it.
Yeah, I think he goes from like, it's really important for me to be rich and famous, no matter what, I can do that, and then I want to be the best in the world. But then like at the end of the ping pong tournament. And to be fair, like when they go back and play that second game, I think it is very thrilling.
That was really good. Actually, that was my favorite part.
He's thinking it's more important for me to have integrity and to respect myself. I guess that's fine. And then at the end, he finds something that like he realizes he can care about something more than he can care about himself. I think I'm being a little generous in connecting those threads. I think those are the threads it wants us to connect.
I agree with that. But yeah, like I said, I think it's one of those where it's like, I see what you're trying to do, but I just didn't feel like you did enough for me to believe that that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
It was very propulsive though. It's like it was nonstop, like him just doing shit and doing it again and again. And like, I get that was what he was doing, but like it just made me like, and I feel this was what they were supposed to do, but it's just like, my anxiety was just getting ramped up with every single thing that he did. And it was like, why are you doing this? And I get that's the point. It's just like, he's just making bad decision after bad decision, doing this and just like pushing it forward and just treating people like shit. But I was just like, it's too much for me. I don't like this person. I don't care what he does with his ping pong anymore. Just let me leave. Which is kind of how I felt by the final third of this movie.
I just don't understand how it spent so much time going, like, we're going to go on a road trip to rob these hayseeds out of some money.
The whole thing just seemed pointless.
And then they get caught up with them at the next town over. It honestly just feels a little sitcom-y at that point.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then like he goes in the bath, and then the bathtub falls down, and there's a fucking a fucking dog that they gotta chase down.
It's just like they just threw everything at it, and it was just like, oh no, this shit's happening. And I'm like, but why though? Like, is this necessary to tell this story?
And like, sort of the pieces fall together in that, like, those guys have kidnapped his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then they lead him to that house, and the guy shoots him.
Oh God!
But like, I think it thinks it's being more clever there than it actually is. Like,
I know what you mean.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it is clever, but I don't know.
Yeah, but even if it is clever, it just makes it look like it's not as clever as it should be. But I feel like I'm being really down on it. I didn't detest this movie.
No, I didn't either.
I thoroughly. I was going to say enjoyed it, but I mean, I enjoyed it well enough. I was like, oh, that was a well done movie, but I wasn't like up on it.
Yeah, like, I think I'm mostly criticizing it in the vein of like, this is nominated for like 8 or 9 Academy Awards.
That's great.
It's like, I'm not sure why this one's getting all the, all this attention.
Yeah.
I was quite bewildered by like, why did they do a sperm scene that just looked exactly like Look Who's Talking? Like, it's like, it's so strange. Like this.
Yeah, that was a choice. That was like
the Safdies must just have
started the movie.
They must just have never seen Look Who's Talking. No one told them like, hey, this is like an incredibly famous start to a movie.
Or maybe they did, and they would just like really loved it, and they just really wanted to do it.
But like, it looked exactly.
It did
like
look
it. It looked exactly like.
I mean, I guess how do you do it different?
You do it for real. You show it for real.
You draw little mustaches on them all.
Yeah, someone had to tell him that stash wasn't working.
Oh man.
Probably my favorite scene from this movie is when
the spanking, right?
No,
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd be into that.
I think that when he and Gwyneth Paltrow are like starting things up in the park, and then it immediately gets like broken up by that police officer. I thought that was so funny.
I really hated that whole thing, if I'm being honest with you.
It just make you anxious?
No, I've just hated them both. Like, every scene with them both in, I didn't care about that whole relationship, and I just hated the characters so much. I was like, I don't care about these two idiots doing this. Like, can we just move on?
Yeah.
Maybe I just hate love Trevor.
I guess I wouldn't describe any relationship as loving in this one. The uncle was a jerk. Yeah, it's tough to identify with anybody here.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's like you
But,
say, his
like-
friend was. What was it that his friend did? The POW camps. I put all the honey all over his body. That was so weird.
but that was such an intriguing
It was
scene. The
really-
way that they
like,
did that.
The visuals of
It-
it and everything was very well done.
it
But it's
didn't
just so odd.
It didn't end up ramping up to anything else. Like they just did this.
Like just dropped it and then that
They
was
just
it. Walk
like
away.
it's just so fascinating though, and like the score during that moment
Yeah.
is so captivating. The score, I think, bumps this movie up from being like a B- to an A-. Like
Yeah.
it's really an incredible score.
Yeah, like I agree. Like technically, really well done movie. But yeah, it's just the story I couldn't really jive with.
Yeah.
Sadly,
And that's okay.
that is okay. We don't have to jive with them all.
So that's Marty Supreme.
Yeah, should we move on now? Should we get into some Frankenstein?
Yeah, and I want to ask you first, where are you on Del Toro as a whole?
I was always a big fan of his. I guess everybody was when he was like banging out the big movies that everybody was loving, and Pan's Labyrinth and all that stuff. I was a big Hellboy guy.
Hellboy.
But I feel
Especially
like
two.
I feel like the last little while he's kind of falling off a little bit. I don't know if he's just like wrapped up in his own thing, but yeah, I don't remember the last thing he did where I was like, that's amazing. Maybe Pinocchio. Pinocchio was pretty good.
Pinocchio was pretty good, but I feel basically the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like he went from being
He
one of the
went so-
edgiest
yeah,
and
like
like visually
so-
interesting directors to like he still is doing the same sort of things that interest him, but for whatever reason, like it just feels like the milk toast version of it.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to get into Frankenstein, I guess, because I believe we haven't really talked about it because I hadn't seen it, but I believe you're not a huge fan of this one.
Yeah, I think this movie kind of sticks.
Oh, really?
But-
I didn't think it stank, but from what you just said there, I feel like is a very good point because I was like, oh, like it's Del Toro, he really loves this material, like how can it not be amazing? And then it was just like the monster I didn't feel like was very visually interesting. I mean, it was fine, but
Oh man, I actually loved how the monster looked, but basically I don't like how anything else looked in this one.
no,
Well, I don't
you don't like the gothic.
I don't like how he looks after he gets hair. I think he looks like
that's fair.
I don't know. Like
There was a choice that hair for sure, but yeah, I mean, it looked okay, but yeah, I don't know what I was wanting, but it just was kind of like, yeah, it just looks like a Frankenstein, but I mean, that's what it was supposed to be, so that wasn't. But I mean, like, I just feel like that I like to be wowed by his stuff and be like, oh, that's like looks amazing, that whole world. But this one was just a bit like, yeah, it just looks like typical gothic like movie with a Frankenstein knocking about.
well, yeah, and like the CGI was really bad. Like lots of people have been picking on it, but it was bad. Like the
Yeah,
stuff that was
yeah.
filmed in front of a blue screen looks fucking awful.
Yeah, I noticed that like every time it went into action, which wasn't a lot, there was a few times where he just throws people around. It just looked really awful, I thought.
Yeah, like and I think a lot of like the design of the gadgetry and stuff is interesting, but
Yeah.
like the execution just didn't wow me.
Yeah, but I didn't hate this one. I like the aesthetic and stuff that you're not liking. I mean, I was into it. It didn't wow me like I wanted it to, but I've quite enjoyed it.
I didn't like the aesthetic. I loved Jacob Elordi's performance, especially in the first half. I thought
Yeah, he was really good.
it was like amongst the best Frankensteins I've seen. And I usually fucking love Oscar Isaac, and
Oh, you didn't like him?
I did not like him at all in this movie. I thought he was.
quite liked him.
Okay. I don't want to insult you
Well, I
by
mean,
saying I disagree, but I disagree.
well, I mean, I liked him in the fact that I kind of hated his character, which I think was the point of the movie, right? Like,
Well,
I mean,
I don't think I had any impression of his character at all.
Oh,
like
no?
I felt he was sleepy in this one, and I
Sleepy,
felt like he
really?
was phoning it in when he's honestly the thing I love. He's the thing I usually love the most in whatever he's in. But I thought he was
that's fair.
I thought he was a weak point in this one. I don't know.
Oh, really? I know. I didn't.
I
I thought he was pretty good.
I liked Mia Goth, who I think is a great actress, and she's great in basically everything she's in.
Right.
The character's just so thankless.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The way that it's
the performance
written.
was great, but the character, I was just like, oh my god, like this is all you're giving her to do. Like, come on now. and it was like little crumbs of stuff, but it just kind of never went anywhere, I thought. So by the end of that character's end arc, I was kind of like, really? Okay, that's fine. But no, I didn't hate the movie. Maybe I went in with low expectations because I knew that I kind of got the impression that you didn't like it.
I didn't mean to shit talk it so much. I didn't think it would get
shit talk it that much, but you were just like,
I didn't think it would get nominated for Best Picture, which they're like,
yeah. I mean,
this is like, to me, it's the weakest of the 10 by far.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can argue with that. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I can. I'm thinking about F1, but I mean, I enjoyed F1 more than I enjoyed this one.
I think F1 works as a movie more than this works
as a movie. It really does. And this one, I mean, I sound like a broken record when I say this, but entirely too long. There is no reason for why this movie is so long. I mean,
100%.
And I mean, I get that they're sticking to like the 3 separate arcs because I think that's in the book, right? Like the 3 different perspectives of narration.
I read it when I was like 16. Yeah, I really could not tell.
My little bit of research, I think, is similar. Like the first bit is the explorer talking, and then it goes to Victor's story, and then it goes to the Roster's story. But I mean, man, you don't need that much time to tell that story. I mean, geez, it was long.
Wait, Victor and Elizabeth go on like a shopping trip.
yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, no, I didn't hate it, but no, it wasn't what I was hoping.
I do not fully understand why in this version Victor becomes so mean to the monster. It doesn't really connect with me.
Well, yeah, and I think there was a lot of that in this. I think he was trying to be very faithful to the book, but I feel like there's a reason why there hasn't been a completely faithful version on the screen, because I don't know if it works very well. Because basically, in order for Victor Frankenstein's character to work, I think you just have to make him a complete bastard and like no redeemable features at all, and just like totally just be from the start just be a prick to the monster. But it's like, oh, it's Oscar Isaac and it's a movie, so you have to kind of make him a little bit sympathetic. Like, we can't be all bad. That it's but then that doesn't really work. Because you're like, well, what's he doing then? Because he just all of a sudden decides to be a prick. And it's like, where did that come from?
Well, you know what movie did it the best?
What?
The Fly. It's the best Frankenstein. Best Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Because like he's both the doctor and the monster.
Yeah, that's
and he tries to create the bride at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. They kind of fucking nailed it.
Yeah, but what I did like about this one...
Sorry for spoiling The Fly, everybody. Sorry.
What I did like about this one, though, is to me at least, it was very much like he wasn't a bad guy in it. Like the monster in this movie he's not a monster, in my opinion. He's like he's the sympathetic character that you were rooting for, and Victor is the monster, which, I mean, they point out with very clunky dialogue towards the end. But like, and I think that's kind of supposed to be the point of Frankenstein. It's like,
yeah,
this guy's like actually feels and is a person, and just because he looks weird, that's why I felt like I might have appreciated if he wasn't so aggressive. I feel like they tried to make him like, oh, he's a big scary monster, so now he's going to kill a few people and rip a jaw or 2 off. And I was like, I mean, I guess that's cool because he is a monster and he's like strong and stuff. But like, I feel like,
well, his dad wasn't around much when he was growing up, so
it just felt like they were just trying to pile on a bit. Where it's like, oh, look how sweet this guy is. He's actually a sweet soul, and like he's not a monster. It's like, well, he just ripped that guy's jaw off for not really any reason. He was mad.
He killed a lot of those Swedes too.
That's what I mean.
Were they Swedes?
Danish, I think they were. According to the subtitles.
I'm sorry. Both to the Danes and the Swedes.
But yeah, I felt like. Yeah, like at the end was like, oh, he's actually a good guy. We're gonna let him go, and the captain's like, okay, and I'm like, but he just flat out murdered like 20 of your guys for no reason.
Well, I'm assuming the rationing situation there was quite light, so maybe there's like, oh, okay, you know what, you saved us from having to eat each other.
It's like we got plenty of guys anyway. We don't need nobody like them anyway.
I got a whole country full of these people. It's called Denmark.
And like when he's like. With the blind guy, which was my favorite part of the movie, I think, when he's chilling with that family, hiding and watching that family and learning how to read and stuff. I thought that was pretty good. And then
because you like hiding in walls and stuff and spying on families.
That's the best. That's how you show that you're a good guy, right? That's how I do it.
That's how I grew up.
Then you befriend a blind person.
Yeah.
But like, and then when those guys showed up though, and he just like rips the guy's jaw off. I mean, I know they were trying to shoot him and stuff, and shot him right in the face, but
yeah, the family
better.
the family cared about those people, right?
yeah. I mean, I thought they were part of the family, were they not?
I think they were.
It was like, oh, this family that I would love to be a part of. Oh, they shot at me. I'm going to rip his jaw off. I think.
Well,
I don't
family's tough. I think that's the main theme of Frankenstein.
I mean, I guess if someone shoots you in the head, I think it's fair game to rip their face off if you can. I mean, right? But I mean, then he's like, but I got better. So is it like,
I got better?
There's a lot of that. He's like, I died, but then I got better. He literally says that at one point, I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember if I've ever seen a version of Frankenstein that had that mechanic.
Yeah, that seemed, I was a bit like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why has he got Wolverine-style healing? Like, it's
arguably better than Wolverine too.
I guess so. Literally just holds a piece of dynamite, it blows up in his face, and he's like, I'm all right.
It's fine. Easy come, easy go.
I mean, it's cool. I like that kind of stuff. I'm into sci-fi stuff like that, but it just kind of felt a little unnecessary.
Did Elordi get nominated for Best Actor?
I don't know if he did.
I think he probably didn't.
No.
No, wait. He did, right?
I don't know.
Can you look this up? Because I think he deserves a nom for this one, or at least to be in the conversation.
Sure.
I think he might have. That's my guess.
Oh,
it was a good performance. My favorite part of the movie.
Go on then.
Oh, I turned too quickly. My favorite part of the movie is when he's in the basement and he's just like kind of wandering around there, like exploring a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I like that part. I like Elizabeth coming down and talking to him. I like it when he just can say Victor. I think that's the best looking part of the movie too.
He did not get nominated, Trevor.
Okay. Well, can you read me the 5?
Oh, you know what? Sorry, my mistake. He was a supporting actor.
Oh, he got supporting. That's
They gave him supporting.
I guess that makes sense, though. I
don't know.
There's an argument.
It's called Frankenstein. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was mostly focused on
the Dr. Frankenstein.
I guess because he is Frankenstein. Duh.
No. They've retconned that. You're fine.
Right. When did they retcon it?
So there's an XKCD comic. Do you ever read that webcomic?
No, I don't know what that is.
But anyways, so it's like a 3-panel comic where a Dr. Frankenstein creates a Frankenstein's monster, and he says, I'm going to name you Frankenstein. Therefore, whenever someone says Frankenstein, they're referring to this monster, and that's canonically okay, so people can't be dorks and say, actually, you're supposed to say the monster.
Right.
So you're fine.
Okay, thanks for that. Got me out of jail free there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and also, like, his dad is Dr. Frankenstein, so his last name's probably Frankenstein, too.
Right.
So it's totally fine.
His full name is Monster Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Or the creature Frankenstein.
DDS.
All right. Yeah, so I guess, like...
So you're more positive than I am.
I kind of liked it.
You're not wowed either, though.
No, I wasn't super wowed, but it was a good movie, I thought.
I thought it was a not very good movie, but bolstered by a great performance by Jacob Elordi.
Well, there you go. And Oscar Isaac.
No! I can't think of anything else he's been in where I didn't like his performance.
No, he's always very good.
He's one of my faves.
Yeah, maybe you just had him on too high of a pedestal, Trevor.
I guess so, but he's a really good actor. I don't know why he's not better in this one. The character sucks in this one.
Well, yeah.
Not like and it's not just like I hated him. I couldn't identify with him. I think he's
a bit all over the place.
He's a bit all over the place.
Yeah, his motivations were a bit tricky to get a handle on.
Like, what do you want, Victor?
Yeah, it was a bit wild. But anyway, let's move on from that. Maybe this one will be better. There is no Victor Frankenstein in this movie, from what I understand. They've got that other doctor with the weird name.
I'm guessing in this one, it's going to be, like, Frankenstein has been around since the late 1700s or whatever, and then now he's just like, you know what? It's time for me to settle down. And then the original Dr. Frankenstein's long dead.
Yeah, must be it. Yeah, because he died, right? In the story. Does he die at the end in the story?
Like, again, I was 16 when I read the book, and I've seen so many film versions. It's hard to remember.
You get lost in the details.
I feel like he did die. I don't know. I feel like I
I think it has to die, right? That's the point. Like he dies at the end, and then the creature just cracks on.
No, I think the point is that the creature is the monster, and he kills the monster, and he's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He gains immortality, gets Wolverine powers.
Yeah,
I think that's how the book ends.
exactly. So
Anyway, we'll let you guys know if he's long dead in this movie, because he's not in the cast list. So there you go.
you know what? Maybe he'll come back in a post credit scene. But anyways,
putting a team together. Got a mummy with me.
Pete and I have arrived at the theater. We're gonna go inside, watch The Bride.
The Bride! Exclamation mark.
Then we're gonna come back and give you our immediate reactions without going to spoilers. Then give you a warning, and then go into spoilers.
Yeah. So don't worry about getting spoiled unless you don't care. But we'll warn you anyway.
All right. Wish us luck, everybody.
Let's go in. All right. See you guys. Welcome back, everybody. Just monster mashing our way out of the parking lot here. we just saw The Bride! Exclamation mark. There is an exclamation mark, right? I'm not making that up.
Yes.
I think there's an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
All right.
The Bride!
The Bride. There we go. Way more Frankenstein this weekend than I'm used to, but here we go. So, The Bride, Trevor. I don't really know what was going on with that movie, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, I think to tell people, if you think you know what you're getting with this movie, you won't, there's literally no way to prepare you.
Yeah, well, I just walked out of it and I don't know what I got, so I don't know. I don't know if I really liked it, if I'm being honest. I like aspects of it, I think. But man, yeah, it was confusing to get my head around what kind of movie that was supposed to be. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit confused, if I'm being honest.
I think it would be strange if you weren't confused.
Yeah, like from the very start, and I guess we won't spoil anything, but
it's gonna be hard to talk about this without spoiling it.
Yeah, like the very opening scene is like sort of shows you the sort of mechanic that it's using in the part of its storytelling, I'm guessing, and that alone just I felt like was an interesting choice that I'm not entirely sure why they did that. And then as soon as you start feeling like you've got a little bit of a handle on what's going on, it kind of just changes. And we talked about that a little bit going in, about how it shifts a lot, but I was expecting it to shift more in terms of like, I don't know, in terms of like the genre maybe, but it just seems like it was completely different movies in certain points. But then would flip-flop back and forth.
and to be fair, I think that, it's entirely intentional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
I think this is the movie that Maggie Gyllenhaal wanted to put
100%,
up on the screen.
Yep.
And it's like, if you say anything for this movie, it is bursting with creativity and a very strong, a very strong voice.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, people are obviously going to struggle with this one. I think I mostly liked it.
Yeah.
But it has this chaotic energy to it. And I don't know if it's fully in control of that chaotic energy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was kind of on board with that energy, but yeah, I felt like it never really got a good handle on what it was trying to do with that energy. And it kind of, like I said, as soon as I thought I was kind of understanding what it was trying to do, then I would just be like, but no, it's doing something different. And I guess I didn't understand the motivations of that person.
Yeah, I guess we should say, the movie is using Frankenstein as a vehicle to make a lot of other arguments.
Yeah.
It has a lot to say. It's more interested in Mary Shelley as the author of Frankenstein than
I wasn't expecting that really. It's definitely very don't know how to say this without saying like a middle-aged white dude, but it's definitely not made for me, I think, in terms of the voice. It's definitely got a very powerful female voice behind it, which I can appreciate, and I'm glad.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if that's why I'm missing some stuff though.
Well, no, I think that like obviously there's a very strong feminist voice to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is also completely jam-packed with references to other like cultural media and stuff.
Yeah, very true.
And like I'm pretty into the culture, but I was
Pretty
like
plugged in over here.
I feel like there's some stuff that wasn't by me. That there's some references that I wasn't quite getting.
Potentially, or maybe they just weren't references, and it was just like some batshit crazy stuff that they were throwing.
Well, I'm sure there's some batshit crazy stuff in there too, but there's like for instance, there is a lot of Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, huge
in this movie.
Yeah, like the whole middle section's movie is basically it's just like a Bonnie and Clyde movie.
Yeah, which is interesting because it stars co-stars Annette Bening, who's married to Warren Beatty.
There you go. 7 degrees of Annette Bening here. Yeah, I mean it was a pretty stacked cast as well. Like
it was, and everyone's acting in like in a big way. Like
yeah, it was very, very big. Some of the performances,
like all the characters in this movie are sort of aware that they are archetypes in certain stories.
Yeah. Stuff from random different stories.
Gosh, us tiptoeing around stuff must just sound like absolute nonsense.
The one I didn't really vibe with was Penelope Cruz's casting. I didn't think she worked super well in that role. I wasn't quite buying her character, but that might have been the point. to be honest.
You weren't buying her as a detective, eh, Pete? Well, neither were those other police officers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that could have been played a bit differently. But maybe that's just my male bias showing. I don't know.
It could be. Yeah. So, there are parts of this movie that I absolutely loved.
some amazing sequences and stuff. And I quite liked the production design of it and the aesthetic. I was kind of digging it.
Yeah, it's just like it does have this unevenness to it, and I think it's even more than the unevenness that the movie intends.
Yeah, it's like when movies try and walk that tricky line where it's like I'm being purposely weird and confusing, but you have to also make it not too weird and confusing, otherwise you start losing people. And I felt like this kind of tumbled over that line onto the wrong side a little bit in certain places.
And like the script is so insane and like it's obviously a smart script, but it's smart in the way that like a film student's script is smart.
Yeah, I know what
where
you
it's
mean.
like
it's a bit wanky, you mean.
Well, it's wanky and just like bursting with these ideas, and then what's sort of lacking is a way to kind of tie those ideas together.
Bit focus, really, I think, is what it needed. Like someone to just kind of just rein it in a little bit. I feel
like I probably should read a biography of Mary Shelley. Might help me understand the movie a bit better.
Right? Potentially, that's what it feels like. It might be. It's almost like a fever dream based off of Mary Shelley somehow, but I don't quite understand it because I don't know enough about it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like by the end of it, I was a bit like, well, I mean, we'll get into spoilers, but I was a bit like, I don't really know if I fully grasp what was going on with the message of the movie. I mean, I guess they put it right in your face, I guess, at the end, but I was a bit like, I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel about the way this ends.
Yeah, I think I got the main stuff. It's just like I feel like people will be a little dissatisfied because there's so many references and like loose ends that I feel like
it's like, how do you explain this movie to someone? So it says, "Oh, what's The Bride? Like, what kind of movie is that? What's that about?" I'd be like, "I don't know. A lot of things happen. Different things happen.
Yeah, like
it's not a horror movie.
It's like a meta referential movie. Like it's honestly like
romance thriller, sort of sci-fi, some or other.
Well, like it's sort of like the script sort of seems like it would be written by Dan Harmon, where like you
have a great pull,
but like you have to know all of the things that he's referencing to even know like what they are subverting in each of these scenes.
It's not mainstream at all.
No.
I mean, there was only about 5 people in the theater when we were seeing it, so that its opening weekend. So,
like, there was a prolonged reference to Young Frankenstein in this, which I really enjoyed.
I might have missed that.
And yeah, like you spoiled it a little bit to say like the Monster Mash plays in this movie too. Like,
exactly.
Like the movie's having a lot of fun.
There was some incredibly funny parts in it, and like that's what I mean. Sometimes it played so broad with the comedy, but then like it just turn on a dime and not be that, and I'd be like, I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be like? Am I supposed to still think this is funny? Because I'm confused now. Seems kind of funny, but it's not being played funny anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I guess it's safe to say that like violence against women is like that's a big theme that the movie's exploring and challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm still coming out on the side of like I like this movie, and honestly, I respect the hell out of this movie for being so weird.
You got to be fair. Like you don't get movies like this don't usually get a good fair shift anymore. I hope that it's not like. I hope it doesn't do really terribly, and they put Maggie Gyllenhaal in movie director jail.
Well, I think that the movie's probably not going to recoup its budget. Not that I care too much about that, but like she's obviously got a really interesting voice. I'd love to see her make more movies.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is a weird one, folks. I think
it's hard for us to talk about.
I would definitely say it is a movie that deserves to be watched.
Yeah, and
I think that half the people who see it will be intrigued by it, want to watch it again, and half will detest it. And I think that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I want to talk about, we need to talk about Jessie Buckley's performance as well, because it was pretty batshit crazy, a lot of the stuff. But she really went for it, and I thought she did a pretty good job.
They're asking a lot.
That's what I mean. Like it could have really been bad. With what they were wanting it to do and what the performance she gave. I mean, it takes some skill to be able to pull it off, I think.
There was only one scene where I didn't like how she kind of like switched between voices and stuff. But for the most part, like you got to give it up to her. She committed herself 100% to this.
She definitely did.
Christian Bale, I liked too.
Yeah, I didn't mind his performance actually. I mean, Christian Bale's pretty safe hands.
Oh, you know what? Like the movie was definitely doing a Sid and Nancy thing for a while too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was definitely getting Sid vibes from him towards the last half of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, his character's a lot more straightforward, I would say.
Yeah, but still very much like flip flopping.
Straightforward is a great way to describe him.
Just like he would bounce, so it kind of bounced around with like what are his motivations? Like how intelligent is this guy? Like what's he trying to do here? I'm like, oh my god, I'm lost.
But compared to like Ida / maybe I shouldn't say anything else, but you know, Jessie Buckley's playing arguably like 50 characters in this movie.
It definitely seems that way. And that's why I was a bit like confused as to be like what her motivations are some of the times, because it definitely flip-flopped around.
Well, like honestly, it seems like her character is sort of like a conduit, and
that's fair. She's
like pulling in like all media through like a feminist analysis lens.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Because like there's one point in the movie where like she is doing an impression of Marlene Dietrich and she can't control herself and what she's saying. There's so many parts of this movie I want to unpack and I just don't understand, but I like it. I'm confused in a good way, I think, overall, though. Like I said, the movie has a bit of like unevenness to it.
Yeah. It's definitely a movie that like film students will be able to write really great like thesis about.
But it's not satisfying in the way like that like a really great surrealist movie is satisfying. That like, you know, you're still kind of confused by it, but you feel that there's a purpose to all the madness. And
I know.
For here, like I feel like there's a purpose to like 80% of the madness, and then
that might be a bit high for me. Felt like it was a lot of stuff just going on.
I think there's a lot of purpose in this movie. It's just whether or not it's being put together. The fact that this movie got such a high budget is
that
like,
is pretty crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I guess he's a big name director because she's well known and like a big cast. So, I mean, I guess she must have been very good at selling it.
I'm confused by the Jake Gyllenhaal character and what he represents. That's my main thing. I'm tinkering with my head.
Stuff like that. I'm just a bit like, I feel like there's a point that's just going over my head here.
Oh, there's at least 20 points that are going over my head.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what, folks?
Yeah, we're
gonna drop into spoilers.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to.
So let's do spoilers here.
Okay, where should we start with the spoilers? I guess we kind of tried to tiptoe around like the whole like. What did you feel when it started and it's like, oh, I'm gonna like, Mary Shelley's gonna like possess this girl, and then she's gonna have like a sort of split personality thing going on. I was a bit like, oh, okay, that's an interesting choice.
Well, at first I thought that this is gonna be a movie where Frankenstein the novel and Frankenstein the character exists, right?
Yeah,
where people like know Mary Shelley wrote a book.
That's quite confusing.
But it didn't. Like, this is still existing in a different reality.
So she's like possessing a fictional character.
She's possessing a fictional character. It's like, so
that's the kind of crazy shit in this movie that it's just so confusing. To what end? If it's all fictional, what's the point?
Well, I think they tell you at the beginning that like Mary Shelley died too soon.
Yeah.
She wasn't able to write the books that she would be able to write.
To tell the feminist version of Frankenstein that she always wanted to write.
So this is the ghost of Mary Shelley who's creating another story, and like basically God is inserting herself into her own story.
I was on board with the whole like she's just yelling out random British shit. It's a crazy like British author just randomly. But then I was a bit like, I don't know how they're going to keep this up and it not just going to be a bit weird and annoying. And they did kind of just drop it for a while, and then they would bring it back like once in a while just to remind you that was supposed to be happening. And I was a bit like, yeah, I guess you can't really just keep that going the whole way through.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, why even bother then, really?
Well, the first bit felt very much like a play to me. Like this whole concept seems like it would work a little bit better on the stage, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Which I think this is the first time I've ever said that on the podcast.
Just wait for me to say it should be a long-form TV show. No, not this one.
Well, it's such a heady concept to get into.
Yeah.
And like I alluded to before, I don't really know shit about Mary Shelley, but like I'm gathering from this that, you know, she was not treated very well during her lifetime and was maybe seen as just like an accessory to Percy Shelley, like the more famous writer and poet than she was.
They didn't really get into that though, right? Like you just kind of have to read between the lines.
It's assuming knowledge of it,
and
it's not like the average person going to see Frankenstein even knows that it was written by a very young woman,
right? Yeah,
and so like to me, I think that's kind of what the main theme of the movie going in there is. Like the movie is riffing off of The Bride of Frankenstein, right? Like she's being defined through her proximity to Frankenstein. And it's about like her existing as her own character outside of that.
Basically, the whole movie is just about women taking agency when they don't, because they should have it and they don't.
Yeah, and it's looking through all these different film references and other media references about how, like, you know, women being defined through
and I think that's
the male character.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was trying to allude to earlier about not really understanding what the ending was trying to say, because I was fully expecting it to just be like, I don't need Frankenstein. I'm not going to be I'm all in love with Frankenstein and I want to get married to him and I could just be my own woman because I have agency. But then at the end, it was like, oh no, I love him so much, you got to bring him back to life. And then they both get brought back to life and hold hands. I'm like, oh, okay, so we are doing that then.
But I think it's important that he died. Yeah. Because she as an entity was created by him to serve as his bride.
Yeah.
By her taking him there, it becomes her choice.
I guess that's fair.
Now, like we can actually come about this as equals. Like we each chose each other by bringing each other back to life.
It just to me it felt a bit like she can't. It's basically like, oh, I can't live without him, so you have to bring him back. Which to me was a bit like, I feel like that's kind of, you can't live without your man. Isn't that going against kind of what you've been saying in this movie?
I see what you mean. Like I think it's going for a little bit subtler than that, but like maybe. That like it's hard to argue that that's what happens.
It's kind of what it is, right? And then to bring him back at the end, or bring them both back, I guess. I was a bit like, okay, I mean, I guess.
Well, that's why like it is tough for feminist movies in a way, because either like, you know, she would just have to murder Frankenstein or like you just have to find a clever way for them to get together, and that, but it's still her choice. Like I feel like it mostly did a good job.
I guess that was my point. It's like, why do they need to be together? Isn't that the whole point of like, I don't have to be the bride of Frankenstein. I can just be my own person.
Well, I know why they could be together, because they match each other's freak.
Well, they definitely did.
They definitely match each other's freak.
Yeah, there was some freaky shit going on in that movie at certain points.
So
I mean, we've not even talked about the freaking musical numbers, which I quite enjoyed, if I'm being honest.
I thought they were great. Like that
like so weird to just throw them in there, but fucking why not?
But it's all kind of inspired by young Frankenstein and him like doing the putting on the Ritz routine.
I guess so.
Which they played that song in this movie for an extended. I don't know why his contortions were impacting everybody else. Did they explain that?
No, and I don't know if that was like, was that actually happening, or was that just sort of there's a lot of like mixing reality and fantasy.
It's a great question. I have no
like all the, because there was certain scenes like at the end when they're at the drive-in and then they're on the screen in the drive-in. It had like people reacting like it was actually them on the screen in the drive-in.
Yeah,
it's like that's obviously not happening. So why are people reacting like it is? I'm a little bit confused.
Well, it's the benefit of having God be a character in your movie, like God being Mary Shelley.
Yeah, reality is what we tell you it is.
Like she can be changing reality to tell the story she wants to tell. I guess it's a fucking trippy movie.
Yeah, I didn't love that dynamic, to be honest with you. Like every time it cut back to her in her black and white, like dark, like creepy lighting and just like being weird, I was a bit like, I don't know if I need that anymore.
Oh, like Mary Shelley in there? Yeah.
I felt like they went back to that well maybe one too many times. I feel like if they just bookended it with that, I would have been happy, but yeah, it was a bit like, I'm creeped out.
Yeah, it's a little creepy for sure.
No, like, yeah.
So I was gonna ask, like, why is Frankenstein obsessed with this, like, Fred Astaire type dancer, and is he gay or bisexual?
I didn't get that vibe, but yeah, because he alludes to it when he meets him, and he says like, "Oh, you're the only
you smiled at me.
Yeah, you're the reason why I kept going." So yeah, but yeah, I didn't really understand why. I guess just because he fucking likes his movies. I don't know. Like, was it because of the one leg thing? Because he was saying like how he was born with polio or whatever, and then they didn't think he'd ever walk, but then here he is doing all this crazy shit. So maybe he was just like relating.
He's aspirational.
To that. Yeah, he was like me. He was told that he couldn't do stuff because he was born wrong, and actually he fucking does all this amazing stuff. And now why can't I do that too?
And it was so funny when he met him, and then obviously the guy's a jerk or whatever.
I love that they got Jake Gyllenhaal. It's just like got a brother to me in it. All these fucking cheesy old movies.
And he said, you know, like he's like pouring his heart out to the guy, and he's like, "Sorry, you're not really my type," or whatever.
Just turns his back to him.
And then like that's when he goes into this like depression funk thing where he starts dancing, and then he compels everyone to start dancing too.
Yeah, that was a wild scene.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
But like the shootout that was going on there, like the geography of that was just so like sloppy. Like, and I don't know, like, I don't know if it was purposely sloppy.
Yeah, like there was a few scenes that were just a lot that kind of went like that. Like the dance, like when they were in the club dancing, I was just thought was really oddly shot and edited, and suddenly they're in an alleyway or whatever. I'm like, what's going on? But yeah, it's so strange how like they had that whole like subplot of like Ida and like what she was up to, and how like she was working with the police and she slept with that detective guy, and it was all about trying to get this mob boss, and like that was like a whole that was like a whole other movie.
It really ended up not being that important.
That they didn't even really dig into. It was kind of like that was like a whole movie on it in itself that was like playing in the background of this Frankenstein movie that really it's like why was it necessary? It could have just been any random woman.
Well, I thought it was interesting that she was like mouthing off this gangster or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like a different movie would have had her like be murdered at the hands of that gangster.
Well, I think weren't they implying that they did murder her?
Well, they were like, it was sort of implying that she was going to be murdered, but she just sort of like, she got slapped around and fell down the stairs.
Well, it seemed like Mary purposely made her fall down the stairs.
Yeah, but it's also like she was being a victim of like casual male violence right there. Like they were just slapping her and punching her and stuff. And then Mary's just like, let's get the story. And then she kills her right there.
Yeah.
But I feel like she would have been murdered by them. And like those two guys, in fact, did take credit for murdering her.
Yeah, exactly.
But the movie doesn't play out like a straight revenge story against that gangster. It's
not
like,
at all. It's like she didn't even remember him.
But like she's more like on a vengeance quest for characters like that in like every book and every movie that's ever existed. Like we're gonna take back the role of like being a female victim or whatever. Like we're gonna take it back.
Yeah, like how did the detectives work for you? Because they really didn't work at all for me. I mean, I understood like the need to have characters like that to be somebody trying to chase them down. Like the whole second half of the movie is kind of like this Bonnie and Clyde, they're trying to get away from the police type thing. But I just didn't really buy them as like the characters. I just kind of felt like they were a bit like, what's the point? And then they tried to crowbar in this thing at the end about him like being potentially dirty and sleeping with his like witnesses and resigning and giving her the badge in this grand gesture. And I was just a bit like, I don't fucking really care about these guys at all. Like all the little bits and back and forth they had, it just really didn't work for me. Their relationship and those characters, I was just a bit like, I don't. Every time it cut to them, I was a bit like, I don't really want to see these guys. Can we go back to the Frankenstein shit?
Yeah, I think especially the story between, is it Alex Skarsgård or is that Peter Skarsgård?
Which one it is?
I get the Skarsgårds mixed up.
Too many Skarsgårds.
Except for I'll tolerate no bad mouthing of Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh yes, we've talked many times about Stellan.
But like his connection to the character just feels so like flimsy.
Yeah, I wasn't buying it at all, if I'm being honest.
Again, I see what you mean about Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, like their relationship, it just felt like, and this is gonna sound weird, but I think she was just like. She was too glamorous for me in that role, which I mean, again, might be the point. Like, just because she's glamorous, why can't she be a detective, Trevor?
Well,
but I'm a bit like,
I thought it was so funny in the beginning when Frankenstein's like first looking for the doctor, and then and then she's like, "Oh, I'm a doctor. What? Women can't be like."
That's what I mean. They did that like 5 or 6 times in the movie, and I'm just like,
and they did the thing with the detective too. But I think it's like it's
kind of the point of the movie. It
is sort of the point in that like
it's not very subtle to do it that many times.
She's actually been the detective the whole time, but like no one gives her credit because she's a secretary. I see what you mean. Like I said, the characters are playing big. Stereotypical archetype versions of themselves. And it can give you like a bit of an uncanny feeling or like something's not quite working here. But like the detective part does seem kind of like pasted onto it a little bit because it ended up being like fairly inconsequential.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It felt like it was one of those things like, oh, we need somebody to be chasing them.
I don't know how would they possibly have connected that like security guard falling and breaking his neck
randomly onto some train track in the middle of nowhere. She's like, "Oh, I've got a hunch."
Like, how many trains must leave Chicago every hour?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, why would
you.
those are the only two detectives on the case at this point? Why are they there?
And why are they even going to different jurisdictions and chasing this thing? Surely they should just like, we'll call the New York cops and they can follow up.
Because America's a police state. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
guess it's like, no, you guys have to drive 4 hours to go and deal with that. It's like, why not just call the local detectives?
Yeah, let's go to Niagara Falls.
Right? It's like, jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was an interesting movie. I'm glad I saw it. You don't see stuff that really makes you bake your noodle so much these days, so I appreciated it for that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely confusing.
It's a challenging film. I hope people will watch it.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's the kind of movie you should watch for sure.
I think. Well, I definitely enjoyed it more than Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
There you go.
Because I think, at the very least, it had something interesting to say.
Yeah,
I don't think that
that's
Del
tricky.
Toro's Frankenstein had anything interesting.
I don't know if I could say I enjoyed it, but I could definitely appreciate it more.
I was never actively bored while watching this movie.
Well, true. It was long though. Movies are too long these days.
It was pretty long. Like, I think this movie would have benefited from losing about
could have been definitely
15 minutes.
Yeah. There's a whole couple
an
of stories.
An hour 45 would have been the perfect time for this movie.
Yeah. Any time it moved away from the bride character and was showing other stuff, I was kind of a bit like, they didn't need this in the movie, really, if I'm being honest. There was the whole detectives just jettison them, the whole gangsters don't care, just move on. Like, you could just throw a line in there. That's all we need. Don't need to see this guy's giant tank full of tongs. We get it. It was pretty gory in parts. Like when he killed those guys in the alleyway, like stomping on the guy's head.
Yes, American History X.
It was
right
definitely
there.
That's what I mean. There's definite whiplash with some of this. Like, goes from like goofy, jokey type stuff and dance numbers, and then like people get shot in the face and fucking stomped on the head. It was a bit like.
Did it offend you?
Didn't offend me. No, I just felt a bit like just got a bit whiplash from it. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, okay, I guess stop laughing now. That's just where I think that just adds to my confusion. Is like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel in this moment now. Am I supposed to be shocked because you just showed me a guy getting his head stomped on, or am I supposed to be like laughing because it's funny?
Well, I don't think so. It was like a rape scene that got interrupted there, so like it was pretty serious. So
it's like a couple.
I don't think so.
Of instances where sexual assault is interrupted by murder, and I'm like, oh, I was laughing a minute ago.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like for the most part, when the movie turns to violence, it always takes it fairly seriously.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah.
And like the characters themselves keep referencing that they don't want violence, and I think like both of them, we could believe it.
Yeah.
And they both seem to be bothered by taking life. So like I think those parts are mostly
for sure
serious.
For sure. But then the next scene they'll just be doing some weird crazy shit, like they're literally insane. And I'm like, I don't understand. Are you insane or are you like not? I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you were reanimated, you'd probably be a little insane.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just be insane then. Just go with it. Anyway, I feel like we've talked about it enough.
Don't try to put her in an insane box.
Yes, she can do.
She can be insane when she wants to, and she can not be insane when she wants.
People are complex and layered, Trevor. That's what we should all know that by now.
Yeah.
All right.
They like their sex probably like was really gross. Like
yeah, they did that. There was a couple of sex scenes there where I was a bit like,
I don't think either of them showered.
Well,
the whole movie. That stuff.
Like I might have misheard something, but when they were in New York and she was like, "Oh, what's that smell?" Doesn't he say that's us?
Yeah, and like I'm
and I was like, "Yeah, they should stink, right? They're literally corpses."
I'm pretty sure his private parts are like gangrenous. So like,
well, they didn't show it, thankfully, but yeah, I was a bit like, I'm not sure how they're gonna play this sex scene. It's like, oh, okay, they're gonna show bits of it. But I found it interesting, like. Right at the beginning when the doctor was examining Frankenstein and they like shot that like it was like very sensual and sexy and it was and then because he mentioned later on, right, it's like that's the first time anyone's ever touched me, it was glorious or whatever. It was like, okay, like, is he gonna bang this old doctor?
Well, it's kind of funny that she said, like, do you just want to get laid, man? Because, like, there's easier ways to do this than for me to reanimate a dead body.
It's like, there's people who are probably into it. Don't worry about that. You're still Christian Bale, you know.
He's good looking Frankenstein.
You got some staples in your head, I think. Right.
All right. Well, we rate things at a 6.5 on this podcast.
Oh God, this is going to be impossible to rate.
What are you thinking there, Pete? I don't know. Yeah,
oh my God, yeah, I don't know how you even rate this. Jeez, I mean,
maybe I'll give this a 5 out of like. I think I'll like this movie even more, like thinking about it later on. I don't
know if I could give it a 5. If we're being honest, I feel like it's just
no. Don't feel obliged.
No, I mean, I was thinking more like 4.
That's okay.
Yeah, because for me, it was just a bit like, and I hear what you say. I hear what you're saying.
I'm probably rating it too high, to be honest, but like
But it's a thinking man's movie, definitely. You know what I mean? It's
or a thinking person's movie.
Sorry,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm showing my ignorance there. Patriarchy taking all the scenes.
Honestly, like I complain too much that
movies are boring.
People aren't putting original ideas and like they're not putting enough of themselves in the movie. And I really got to give Gyllenhaal credit. Like she took some big fucking swings with this movie, and so I respect the hell of it.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I just didn't really like it.
No, I'm not going to fault anybody for not liking this movie. It's weird and it doesn't entirely work.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like an experiment. You gotta respect the experiment.
It is sort of an experiment. It's just
like Frankenstein himself.
It's just wild it got such a big budget for being so experimental of a movie.
Or maybe they were just like, we're on the Frankenstein train. We hear that Guillermo's doing one. We'll ride those coattails.
I feel like that's a reason why it shouldn't have got a big budget, because people might not want to watch another Frankenstein movie.
I mean, yeah, I guess so, right?
All right.
Maybe they were just banking on people thinking it was a sequel or something.
Could be, yeah.
It's like, where's Jacob Elordi in this? Anyway. All right, should we call it a day, Trevor?
Let's call it a day.
That's enough Frankenstein for 1 week. We'll be back with our thoughts on the Oscars.
Yeah, we'll be back with our thoughts on the Oscars.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. It's Trevor's favorite time of year. But until then, we'll see you again. And that's the final word.